And peripheral nervous is including cranial nerves and spinal nerves, including this called we can call peripheral nervous system.
Okay, good. So, how many pairs of cranial nerves are there? Type in chat box. How many pairs of cranial nerves are there in human body? Only two answers. Everybody, please answer. If you don't know, then copy the answer others are typing. And how many pairs of spinal nerves are there? Very good. Very good. 12 pairs of cranial nerves and 31 pairs of spinal nerves. Yes. And central nervous system consisting of what? Very good. Sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system are parts of what, which type of nervous system? Yes, very good. So it is part of autonomic nervous system. An autonomic nervous system is part of which type? Mm, it's not central. Yes, very good. It's part of, you can say, motor division, or yes, it's not part of central nervous system. It's part of peripheral nervous system. Now, peripheral nervous system further divided to sensory and motor, and motor is further divided to somatic and autonomic. Now, autonomic is further divided to sympathetic and parasympathetic. Now, tell me, what are the signs of sympathetic activation? Yes, during emergency, but what are the signs we can see in our body during sympathetic activation? Muscle tone increases. How can you say that muscle tone increases? I don't know about muscle tone. when sympathetic nervous system activates at that time, yes, heart rate increases, breathing rate increases, yes, respiratory rate, yes, and it is fight or flight situation, and metabolic rate decreases. Okay, so that is why parasympathetic activation is also known as rest and digest situation. Okay, so let's present. I hope you can see my screen. So till here we have covered yesterday, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Next is nervous tissue. Nervous tissue we have already learned during while we were learning different types of tissues. Right. So there we have already learned nervous tissue. Once again, let's revise. Neurons, functions of neurons are sensing, thinking, remembering, controlling muscle activity, regulating glandular secretions. And functions of neuroglia. We have already discussed while we were learning tissue that what is neuroglia. I hope you remember. Can you please tell me what is neuroglia?
Yes, ma'am. Neuroglia is the supporter of the neurons. Means no, sorry, neuroglia produce the nutrients to the neurons.
Yes.
Neuroglia,
It is
neuroglia are cells. Two types of
space.
nervous, two types of cell.
Yes, you are right. Be confident. Your whole answer was exactly right. But be confident. So, neuroglia are a different type of cells. They are not neurons, but they support neurons. Okay. So, what are the functions of neuroglia? Their function is to support nourish neurons, protect neurons, and maintain homeostasis in interstitial fluid. Interstitial matlab means within tissues, means uh, in within two tissues, if there is a small space we can find, then it is known as interstitial. Let me draw. Just for example, this one is a tissue and this one is a tissue. So the space between them, this space is known as interstitial space. These are the two types of tissues you can see here. And these tissues are made up of cells, different, so many cells. There are so many cells, and the space between them is known as interstitial space. And this space is filled with different fluids. There are intercellular space also between two cells. Such space are also present. So intercellular space is also there, and intercellular fluid is also there. So here we are talking about interstitial fluid, means between the tissues. So maintain the homeostasis in interstitial fluid. Next is structure of neuron. There's a structure also we have already learned well during while we are learning cell. Once again, just revise that neurons are the nerve cells, basic elements of nervous system. Now, see here the structure of neuron. It is having a cell body. Yeah, this portion is cell body, and here you can see nucleus, and these are dendrites, tree-like structure, and this is neuroglia. Okay, and this is axon. This portion is axon, and this axon is covered with myelin sheath. And can you please remember what were myelin sheath? Yes. Anyone?
My,
Myelin sheath?
myelin, myelin sheath conduct the electrical impulses, and a myelin sheath made of swan cell.
Yes, myelin sheath made of not in conducting. They make the conduction faster. Okay,
Yes,
and they are
yes,
made up
yes.
of swan cells. That is here. That is why they are white colored. And the because of this white color of myelin sheath, where the bundle of axon are present, that portion is also become white. That is why the mid portion of cerebrum is white, because bundle of axons are present at the inside of brain, and outside there is gray matter. Gray matter, uh, if this is the brain, this is the human brain, then outer layer you can see gray matter, and inner layer is of white matter. Means if inner portion is made up of white matter, then outer side is cell body. Outer portion, we can say that cell body is located at the outer portion, and axon is located at the middle portion. That is why outer portion is gray and inner portion is white, and it is opposite in case of spinal cord. Okay, in spinal cord, the outer portion is white and the middle portion is gray. Okay, it is opposite in case of spinal cord. In brain, the outer layer is made up of gray matter and inner layer is made up of white matter. But in case of spinal cord, outer layer is made up of white matter and gray matter inside. Now, what we are learning? Neuron. Yes. So, axon are covered with myelin sheath. Not every axon, every neuron is covered with myelin sheath. Some are free from myelin sheath also. So, and so you can see here, axon terminals are the end of nerve fiber or neuron. So the next neuron is end of next neuron. Just for the cell of next neuron, and this is of
Ma'am, your voice is breaking.
Now is it okay? Hello?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Okay now.
Okay. So what I was talking about that yes, just for example, yes, just for example, these are the neuron terminals. Sorry, yes, these are the axon terminals of neuron, and from these terminals, the next neuron, dendrites of next neuron is receiving information. Just for example, this is a cell body of a neuron, and dendrites of this neuron will receive information from the previous neuron. Okay, this is the cell body, and it will receive information from the axon terminals of previous neuron. Okay, I hope you get. And let's get the neuron in a bit detail. So neurons having cell body, the main processing center of cell, dendrites, thin branching extension of the cell body that conduct nerve impulses towards cell body, and axon, a single branch in most neurons which conducts impulses away from cell body. Myelin sheath and neurolemma are coverings. You all know these things. Now, impulse transmission. Terminals and fibers are located at the end of axon, and they transmit impulses, leaving the neuron across synapse to the next neuron. Just what we have discussed just now only. Now, here in this picture, you can see how the neuro means information is getting transferred. So, for example, yes, this is neuron A. So, for example, let's take this is a axon terminal. Okay, axon terminal of neuron A. Now, here is dendrite of neuron B. Okay, this is axon terminal of neuron A, and this is dendrite of neuron B. Now, when it is in when the information is within neuron, then it is in form of electric. It is in electric form, and when it is released from axon terminal, then it is released in this space known as synapse, the space between the previous axon terminal and the next dendrite. There is also a small space you can find. That space is known as synapse. So when the information is within the neuron, that is, then it is in the form of electric charge. And when it is released to the synapse, then it is in the form of chemicals. Okay. Now, with the help of neurotransmitter, these chemicals are again entering to the next dendrite. Okay. So, when it is entering to the next dendrite again, then it is again becoming the electrical charge. Okay. So, that is what it is shown here. Neuron A, neurotransmitter, is helping in synapse to reach the information to the dendrite of neuron B. All neurons have basic properties: excitability and conductivity. Okay, these when neuron A is releasing the synapse, it is being the synapse with that.
Ma'am, your voice is breaking, ma'am.
Okay, now here it is okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, what I was telling, that when the neuron A is releasing the information in the form of electrical charge, in the synapse it is becoming chemical. And when those chemicals are in touch with neuron B's dendrite, then the neuron B is getting excited and receiving those information. And after receiving those information, it is again being electrical. Now when it is being electrical, neuron having the next characteristic, that is conductivity. It will conduct the information to the next part. It's okay. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am, clear.
Okay. Now, types of neurons. First of all, efferent neuron. Efferent are motor, conveys information from central nervous system to muscles and glands. Afferent neuron. Afferent neurons are sensory, carry information from sensory receptors to CNS. Means they are just opposite. Now, there is another one neuron called interneuron. This interneuron connect motor and sensory neurons. Okay. For example, from here, sensory neuron is going to CNS. Now, there is an interneuron. Here, it is an interneuron which is taking information from sensory neuron. Now, again, here, this motor neuron. Okay. So, interneuron is connecting the sensory and motor neuron. Now here you can see it is pictured. Types of neurons. And the sensory neuron, cell body, uh, you can see here very well. Yes. So here you can see dendrites of sensory neuron. From dendrites, axons are conducting the information to cell body. It is processed, the information has been processed and is coming to the axon terminals. Here you can see the joining of axon terminals and dendrites of next neuron. Okay. Now, the next neuron is interneuron. This neuron is the interneuron. And interneuron is also known as neuron. Okay. So, after getting the information from sensory neuron, the interneuron or relay neuron is transmitting the information to the next motor neuron. See here. Okay. So, this motor neuron is receiving information and it will give instruction to the any gland or any muscle what to do next. Okay. Now, bipolar neuron and unipolar neuron. Okay, so there is bipolar neuron and unipolar neuron and multipolar neuron. Let me take one. Okay. There is, I have not added in theory regarding bipolar neuron. Okay. So, bipolar neuron means the neuron which can conduct the information towards the central nervous system and receive the information from the central nervous system too. That is known as bipolar neuron. And unipolar neurons are those neurons which can um, which can only proceed to one direction only. Means they will either conduct towards central nervous system or towards peripheral nervous system. And multipolar neuron means you can understand by the word multi that it can conduct multiple walks. There is no problem for walking any type of, and when it is needed they can walk at any direction. Okay. And next is neuroglia. Neuroglia is well known to you. Support, protect, connect, remove debris from the nervous system. You can see here so many neuroglia are present. Next. So, all body activities, voluntary and involuntary, are controlled by nervous system. Okay. And you have already came across central and peripheral. Central nervous system made up of brain and spinal cord. Peripheral nervous system are made up of nerves. Now, these organs work together to integrate and coordinate sensory and motor information from for the purpose of controlling various tissues, organs, and organ systems of body. Okay, so what happens? All the things is working together. They are working as a team. That is why the body is working as a whole body. The central nervous system is responsible for higher neural functions such as memory, learning, and emotion. So these higher neural functions are the functions of central nervous system only. Okay, all the regulations or higher neural functions are from brain mainly. Now, we will learn about the brain. It is residing in cranial cavity. Now, I think I hope you know what is cranial cavity. The cranium, all the bones of cranium is making the cranial cavity, that is the brain box. And the brain is weighing about 3 pounds in adults. Contains 100 billions of neurons and control bodily functions and interaction with outside world. Now, Parts of brain. There are 4 parts of brain. First is cerebrum. So cerebrum is the largest part of brain. And what it is made up of? It is made up of cerebral cortex and corpus callosum. Then diencephalon. Diencephalon is made up of thalamus, pineal body and hypothalamus. Okay, so these things are part of endocrine system. We just have learned endocrine system. Thalamus, pineal gland and hypothalamus. Next is cerebellum. Cerebellum is known as a small brain. It is located at the back side. The occipital bone is covering cerebellum. Okay, and now brain stem. Stem is a collection of some organs like midbrain, pons, and medulla oblongata. Now here in this picture you can see the brain totally. Now here, this is the cerebrum. Okay, so this is the largest portion of brain. Okay, so this is cerebrum, and this is cerebellum. Okay, so this cerebellum is also known as small brain, and you can see here brain stem. It is located here, and brain stem is containing what? Brain stem is containing midbrain, pons, medulla oblongata, and it is well leveled. You can see which portion is known as midbrain, which portion is known as pons, and which portion is known as medulla oblongata. And here, this portion is known as corpus callosum. You can see corpus callosum, and cerebrum is including corpus callosum. Okay, so cerebrum is including cerebral cortex and corpus callosum, and diencephalon is including thalamus. You can see where thalamus is located, pineal gland and hypothalamus. Okay, so this is the whole structure of brain. You can get it, and how this brain is cut, how it is dissected. You can see here in this picture, it is dissected from middle. Okay. So see this picture and grasp this picture. Let me describe. Yes. So here you can see the picture: cerebral cortex, corpus callosum, then diencephalon, thalamus, pineal gland, hypothalamus, pons, oblongata, cerebellum. These are the brain consisting of. Okay.
Ma'am, your voice is breaking. The slide is not shown.
Hello. Hello. Am I audible now?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
So, which slide you are talking about?
This only, ma'am. Just for few seconds, it got blocked. Now it is visible.
So you got the slide, okay? Means whatever I told you about this slide, you got the slide.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now we will learn about cerebrum. The cerebrum is divided into two cerebral hemispheres. Okay. Outer portion is called cerebral cortex. So the largest portion of brain is cerebrum and it is divided into two hemispheres, left and right. Right cerebral hemisphere and left cerebral hemisphere are the two parts of cerebrum. Now cortex containing gyri and sulci. So in this picture you can see that there are bumps and depressions like here you can see that this is a bump and just after the bump here it is depression, here it is depression, here it is depression. Okay, so these bumps are known as gyri, and these depressions are known as sulci. Okay, so there are a lot of bumps and depressions. So it is containing gyri and sulci. Gyri are bumps and sulci are grooves separated by medial longitudinal fissure. Yes, they are separated by fissure. Fissure means line. We can say fissure is an anatomical language for a depression. Okay, and this depression is not the mental agitation. Depression means there is how I can say call means if this is left hemisphere, this is right hemisphere of brain. Okay, so this portion is known as the depression. Okay, so this is also known as fissure in anatomical language. Okay, so this fissure, longitudinal fissure means longitudinal means it is going up to down. So this longitudinal fissure is dividing the cerebral cortex into left and right, left hemisphere and right hemisphere of cerebrum. Okay, and two hemispheres are connected by bridge of nerve fibers. They relay information between the two hemispheres called corpus callosum. You have seen in this picture the corpus callosum. Here you can see the corpus callosum. So this corpus callosum is connecting the two hemispheres. Okay. So both hemispheres are divided into four lobes as per we have seen in case of bones, cranium bones. Frontal bone is covering frontal lobe, temporal bone is covering temporal lobe, parietal bone is covering parietal lobe, and occipital bone is covering occipital lobe. So as per the names of bones, the brain is also divided into lobes. So each hemisphere having these four lobes. So how many lobes are present in total brain?
4 lobes, ma'am.
The brain is divided into two hemispheres, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Lobes are 8. In each in hemisphere, these 4 lobes are present. Okay.
Okay, means frontal
Okay.
lobe are 2, temporal lobe are 2. Each lobe
Yes.
are 2.
Yes. You can see here in this picture how the brain is separated. The medial longitudinal fissure. Here you can see left hemisphere and right hemisphere, and the extreme left picture you can see the medial longitudinal fissure, and extreme right picture you can see how the corpus callosum is connecting the two hemispheres. Now here in this picture you can see lobes of cerebrum: frontal lobe, the temporal lobe, the parietal lobe, and the occipital lobe. So, these lobes are also divided by when the sulcus is very deep, so that sulcus is dividing. Sulci and gyri, you can, I hope you can got the concept of, you got the concept of sulci and gyri. So sulci and gyri are the plural, means in anatomical language you can see so many times that when it is singular it is sulcus, and when it is plural it is sulci. Okay. And when it is singular it is gyrus, and when it is plural it is gyri. You can get so many examples of such. Okay, so when the sulcus is so deep, then it is dividing into lobes. So central sulcus is dividing frontal lobe and parietal lobe. Now parieto-occipital sulcus is dividing parietal lobe and occipital lobe, and lateral sulcus is dividing temporal lobe and frontal lobe. You don't get a burden of these because this is just for the concept building. This is just for you can understand the brain in a better way. You don't have to remember which sulcus is dividing which two lobes. I am just trying to make you understand more easily. When you will go get the concept in more detail, you will understand it more easily. Okay. So here the functions of different lobes. So the anterior speech area means the speech. Yes. Any
Can,
problem?
can we stop here? Tomorrow we will learn this.
I'm not getting your voice. Can you please repeat?
Yes, ma'am. I am telling means tomorrow can we do that functional areas of cortex? Because I think this much is heavy.
No problem. Where is the meet? Yes, here. Okay. So it's too much today. Okay. So I will send the slide, and if there is any problem, please don't hesitate to ask. So let's end the class with prayer. Sit comfortably, close your eyes, inhale deep and long, upright your spine. Exhale completely. Once again, inhale, fill up your abdomen, fill up your chest. Fill up your body with full energy and exhale completely. Exhale all the toxins, all the lethargy, all the negativity. Now inhale and fix all the learnings of today in your brain. Explore the limitation of human mind. It is unlimited. Power of human mind is unlimited. You can put the universe on your mind. Okay. Now add up Namaskar Mudra in front of your chest and repeat the prayer. सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामया सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति. Now rub your palms. Put those palms on your facial muscles and feel the energy and open your eyes with a smile. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, please share the slide. Oh, ma'am already left.
What do you wanted to say, Lipalika?
Means I want to say to her, means please share the slides or what I want to say.
Yeah, I know. I'll ask her personally because last time I asked for the respiratory thing she sent me. I will
Yes.
forward it in this group, okay?
Respiratory.
Yeah.
Please send me.
PDF. I mean
Be-
PDF to take printout if you want.
Yes, yes, yes. Please send me respiratory because at that time my midterm exam was going on and I did not written in the note.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's very helpful to me. If you have PDF, you can share me.
Yeah, I'm sending it right. Yeah, this is excretory system actually, not respiratory. Oh. Anyways,
Excretory,
I'm sending it.
excretory
Sending.
already I written, ma'am, in the copy.
Okay. I'll
Yeah.
ask, ma'am. This respiratory and this one, what we are doing right now, both of them I'll ask now. Okay.
The system.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay, okay. Bye, ma'am. Thank you.
Bye.